All right, so we have the opening the case and her looking in the case. I think I want to have this before she opens the case. So let's do Control Shift less than. We'll have her open the case before we see what she sees. And we'll have it that maybe just finish opening. So we'll have her just finish. See, I like that reaction. So maybe we'll just cut to this. We could split this up in two. We can have her kind of open the case. And then let's turn this so this opens up. So it's just opening. We'll split this in half. And then so we'll go from her opening the box, and that asks the question, what's she looking at? Then we see what she looks at, and then her reaction to it. So let's see how that works. And we'll have her grab the device. She'll grab it. And let's get this. So we'll cut on this action of her closing the case. And it's a little jarring, but it's not terrible. All right. So what she's doing here in this shot, this part of this shot, I like when the bad guy's walking up towards her, but she's not really doing anything much that I think is going to be that useful. So I'm going to get rid of this shot, actually. And let's replace it with shot 9B, take 2. About 3/4 of the way through, where she's sitting there and then grabs the case. And let's see how that plays. Again, we're going to go to this earlier shot and hit Control C. And then here we'll hit Alt V and paste the crop and see if that works. Disable that bottom clip and see how that goes. I think that's going to be fine. All right, let's see how this plays. The thing is, for continuity, she's covering her face here. But she does throw the gun, so we might be able to show her throwing the gun here, because I know she does throw it. And we could maybe get rid of this part. Yeah, I think that totally works. Oh, baby, I think we fixed it. So we'll replace this shot with scene 4, shot 9B, take 2. And cut into this one a little bit earlier, right when she's throwing the gun. And I think that works. Or we never see her grab the case. But I think it's probably going to work okay. Because we cut to close-ups and everything in between. All right, so now she grabs the device. And we're going to have to do some fanciness here. So basically, she hits that, and then we're going to cut out a bunch of time here. We're going to cut to the bad guy not being there. Like this. So she hits it and goes boink, like that. right when she hits that. And now we have a poor man's VFX. That's the thing, is if you can make this kind of work, when we add the VFX and everything, it's going to work really well. Now we're going to use something that is pretty neat. If you don't know, there's a special kind of transition inside of Resolve that basically fills in the motion in a jump cut. And if you have two frames that are very similar, so like I'm looking on the left side of the frame of her holding this device. So here's the last frame, and then here's the first frame. So it's just a little bit different. This is like the perfect situation to use something like this. So let's go up to the effects library and go under video transitions, smooth cut. Smooth cut is what we want. And I'm going to grab this and drag it down here into the timeline. I'm going to drag it in between these two clips. Now, this is going to do a couple things. Hopefully, this is going to make this side of the frame look really great, and it's going to do all kinds of weird stuff that we don't want to the right side. So basically, we're going to do another soft split here, but let's just focus on the left side of the clip and how that looks. I'll zoom in here, and this works best if it's over like 4 frames, 2, 3, 4 frames, something like that. Let's see how this looks. Of course, you almost have to cover the right side to just see how it works. All right, let's see. You can tell a little bit. Maybe we do it just over a couple frames. We also might play around with where that transition happens to. We might have this move down just a touch. You can even have it right before the motion and it really hide it. Again, you're hiding small motion with big motion. This is one shot, and then even paging through this, it's kind of hard to even notice it. That works pretty well. All right, so that's good. Now let's do our soft split, and the good news is this should be really easy. Let's take this and hold down Alt and just drag it up like this. And that'll make a duplicate of our second clip here. And then let's line this up perfectly with how it was. And then we're just going to bring the beginning of this over a little bit, and we're going to crop this. I'll actually get rid of the audio too. I'll hold down Alt, select the audio track, and delete it. But this right here, we're going to crop. I'll just disable this bottom clip real quick so we can see our crop just by selecting it and hitting D for disable. And I'll make sure I have my top clip selected, and then under cropping, we're going to crop the left. So we're going to have it split right there on this pole, and then disable this. So what we should do is be able to control when he disappears with the start of this clip, and then her side should just look like one nice single clip. So as soon as she hits that device, right when she hits boom, that's when he should disappear. So let's look at it. Yeah. See, that looks even better than before because you don't see the jump cut here on the left. Yeah, that works really well. Oh man, I think that's a better way to do it. We didn't quite do that in the original cut. After we did that, and I thought about it for a few weeks, that's really cool. So she looks back. Awesome. I think that's enough time. And then let's cut to the wide. So she's looking down.
Okay.
Right when she starts to move back, let's cut the end of that. All right. And now she's going to walk out. And I think maybe we'll just cut before she walks because it just takes a while. Just have her do that. And end of scene. Great. That looks pretty good. Let's take another look at scene 4.
You know, there's this theory about the Mobius. It's a twist in the fabric of space when time becomes a loop. And unfortunately for you, this is just one of those times.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about? A twist in what? What is going on here? What are you doing? Have you lived here someone else's?
Someone else will find it.
Wait, no.
Time's up.
No! Shit.
And Nathan, Sarah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. A couple things that I would change. First of all, let's cut out the director here. Just while we're thinking of it.
Nathan.
I'll just grab a piece of empty audio here. Just hold down Alt and just select the audio and just kind of paste it over this part so we just have that room tone. All right. And then let's go through here. The other thing that I'm concerned about is exactly when these voiceovers happen, which we can change later, but let's try and at least rough it in right now. So he's supposed to say someone else will find it and then look at her later. So we want this, because it's a time travel, super confusing timeline thing. We want that to happen at least very similarly to how it happens later. So let's make sure that's a thing.
What are you doing? Have you lived here someone else's?
Someone else will find it.
So after he says someone else will find it,
Will find it.
yeah, that's about right. That's actually right.
Time's up.
Wait, no.
All right. This part right here where she's saying wait, no, that we need to come in a little bit earlier. So again, I'll hold Alt and select both of these clips and just trim them back a little and hit Alt Y to select everything to the right. And we'll just bring this voiceover in.
Wait, no.
Time's up.
No!
And that's close enough to what's going to happen later. This is going to make a little more sense later, but basically this whole scene, because this is time travel, scene 4 and scene 6 are very similar to each other, but we're going to be following her in the background rather than her in the foreground here. So I think all in all, for a rough in, that is good for scene 4. Isn't this exciting? Oh boy. Next we'll move on to scene 5.